The mask came off, and Anakin Skywalker saw his son's face for the first time, and the last. Luke wept. The Death Star shook around them. Vader's chest rose once more, then stilled. The Sith were broken. The galaxy was saved. But the Force had other plans. A blinding wave of light surged through the dying man's body. It was not death. It was not peace. It was something older, something hungrier. The cosmic force itself reached down, wrapped around his soul, and pulled. Anakin screamed without sound. Stars rushed past him. Faces flashed by. Padme, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, the younglings, the burning sands of Mustafar. Every wound, every choice, every regret. Then silence. A small body jolted awake on a cot. 2 suns burned through a dusty window. The boy gasped, clutching his chest, feeling a heartbeat that should not exist. His hands were small. His skin was unscarred. No machinus. No musk. No pain. Annie? You all right, honey? Shmi Skywalker stood in the doorway, alive and worried. Anakin froze. His mother was alive. He had been given everything back. But with it came every memory. Every death he caused. Every name he failed. He knew what was coming. He knew who was coming. And in a cold corner of Coruscant, a Sith Lord was already pulling strings, unaware that his greatest weapon was now his deadliest enemy. Anakin Skywalker had returned, and this time, he would hunt the dark. For 3 days, Anakin did not speak. Shmi thought her son was sick. She pressed cool cloths to his forehead and whispered prayers to the desert winds. But Anakin was not sick. He was remembering. He remembered Padme's last breath. He remembered the younglings in the temple. He remembered the hiss of his own mask, the burn of lava on his skin, and the cold voice of Darth Sidious whispering, "Good, good." On the 4th morning, he stood up. He walked outside, stared at the twin suns, and made a vow. Never again. He was small. He was weak. He was still a slave to Watto. But inside that little body lived a Jedi Master, a Sith Lord, and a father who had seen the end of everything. He knew the names. Sidious, Dooku, Maul, Grievous. He knew the dates. He knew the moves before they were made. He began to train in secret. Behind moisture vaporators, beneath the stars, he stretched out with the Force, careful, quiet, hidden. He could not let the Jedi feel him. Not yet. He fixed Watto's machines faster than ever. He won extra credits. He bought his mother small comforts. And every night, he studied the sand, the wind, the stars, planning a war that had not yet begun. Then, one hot afternoon, a sleek silver ship roared down through the Tatooine sky and landed near Mos Espa. A tall man in brown robes stepped out beside a young Padawan with a braid. Qui-Gon Jinn had arrived, and history was about to change. Anakin won the pod race. He left Tatooine. He freed himself, but not his mother. Not yet. That part of the timeline he would fix later. On Coruscant, the Jedi Council frowned at the boy with too much fear in his blood. They almost refused him. But Qui-Gon stood firm, and after the Battle of Naboo, Obi-Wan kept his promise. Anakin became a Padawan, and the act began. By day, he was a curious boy. He asked too many questions. He smiled too much. He pretended to struggle with simple lessons, then pretended to learn. Obi-Wan saw nothing but a bright, stubborn child. By night, Anakin slipped into the lower levels of Coruscant. In hidden chambers, he practiced things no Padawan should know. Force lightning, dialed down to a whisper. Mind tricks far beyond his rank. Saber forms from the future. He buried his powers so deep that even Master Yoda only sensed a quiet, gentle Force signature. He watched Senator Palpatine carefully. The kind eyes, the soft voice, the slow, patient web. Anakin felt the cold pull of the dark side oozing out of that man like smoke. He wanted to strike. One blade, one thrust, end it. But he waited. A dead senator with no proof would only expose him. He needed Sidious caught in the act. Put up, lightsaber lit, in front of. Witnesses the Jedi could not deny. So he smiled. He bowed. He called him Chancellor. And in the shadows of his mind, Anakin Skywalker sharpened a blade meant for an emperor who had not yet been born. Geonosis burned. Battle droids marched. The Clone Wars had begun, just as Anakin remembered. But this time, he was ready. On the dusty arena floor, Anakin did not lose his arm. He took Dooku's instead. With a hard slash, he knocked the lightsaber away and pressed his blade to the Count's throat. "Tell them," Anakin whispered. "Tell them who your master is." Dooku, shocked and bleeding, hissed one word. "Sidious." The Jedi heard it. Mace Windu heard it. Obi-Wan heard it. The galaxy would soon hear it too. Back on Coruscant, Anakin moved fast. That night, Anakin slipped out of the temple. He went straight to Padme's apartment. She opened the door, surprised to see him, and even more surprised when he took her hand. "Pack a bag," he said. "We're leaving Coruscant. Tonight." "Anakin, what's happening?" He looked back at the Jedi Temple, glowing in the dark. "I'm choosing you. This time, I'm choosing you." When Padme opened her eyes on Polis Massa, history split in two. Anakin was still there. He had not fallen into Sidious's shadow. He held her hand, heard his children cry, and believed, became something colder and harder to name. The Republic still stood, but it stood behind checkpoints, patrol routes, and the watchful gaze of the Skywalker Order. Crime syndicates broke under raids. Sith relics burned. Pirate kings vanished into graves or prisons. On 1,000 worlds, families slept safely because Anakin Skywalker had stayed in the light. Yet peace built by one warrior never felt gentle. It felt guarded, measured, and tense, like a blaster held ready. The galaxy survived, but survival was not the same thing as truly healing. Luke and Leia grew into legends long before adulthood. Luke moved through training chambers with a calm that reminded older survivors of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Leia carried Padme's voice and Anakin's iron will, turning arguments into law and law into action. Together, they looked like the future the galaxy had begged the Force to deliver. Many worlds loved them for it. Many senators feared them for the same reason. The twins were not hidden children on a desert world. They were public heirs to a new age. Hope followed them everywhere. So did suspicion, and it spread faster than hope could. Anakin saw both sides, and neither brought him peace. He had spent years hunting the darkness before it could take shape. Secret cults fell. Fallen Padawans were captured. Sith artifacts were melted down under guard. No Vader rose in black armor. No Emperor returned from the shadows. The future he had once touched in fear was gone. But removing one nightmare did not erase the cost of what he had become. He was protector, general, judge, and warning. Every victory gave the Republic another year of order, and every year of order tied its fate tighter to his hands alone. Padme watched the burden carve lines into his face. At night, when the palace halls grew quiet, she found him standing before windows, staring at lanes that cut through Coruscant like rivers of fire. He rarely spoke first. When he did, his words came low and tired. "I stopped the monster," he told her once. "But I still built something that needs me too much." Padme did not offer comfort. She had fought too hard for truth. She only took his hand and said, "Then teach them to live without fear, not only to obey it." He wanted to believe. That lesson came hardest through Luke. The boy was brave, gifted, and painfully whole. He did not need saving from darkness because he had never been abandoned to it. He loved his father, but not with the desperate hunger of a child searching for a lost hero. Luke questioned commands, refused anger, and saw the order as temporary rather than sacred. When Anakin pressed him harder, Luke pushed back. "You trained us to protect people," he said after a bitter sparring match. "Not to hold the galaxy together by force because you fear it breaking again." Anakin stood silent there. Leia challenged him more sharply. She fought with a blade when needed, but her real weapon was vision. In the Senate, she argued for planetary rights, civilian courts, and local power. She knew the Republic could not mature while every crisis ended with Skywalker gunships overhead. Her speeches won allies across the Midrim. They also stirred officers who believed the twins should inherit command, not dismantle it. Rumors spread through circles. Some wanted Luke as supreme protector. Others whispered that Leia should become chancellor for life. Neither twin wanted a throne, but the galaxy was building one for them. The warning from the unknown regions changed everything. Ancient signals awakened dead shipyards, hidden vaults, and war machines left by powers older than the Republic. Explorers vanished. Border fleets went silent. The threat was vast, faceless, and exactly the kind of enemy that justified Anakin's system. Generals begged him to seize emergency control again. Senators who had doubted him now pleaded for the same iron shield they once condemned. Standing beneath Tatooine's twin suns during a rare journey home, Anakin finally understood the trap. Letting go might doom billions. Holding on might doom his children in a slower, personal way. He watched Luke in the distance, speaking quietly with Leia beside the Lars homestead ruins, and the truth cut deeper than any blade. His son was the proof that redemption had worked. Luke had become the man who never needed to save his father because this father had stayed. That should have been victory. Instead, it left Anakin face to face with a wound he could never close. There was no grand return waiting for him. No homecoming after darkness. He had survived his fall, but not its shadow. Then the sand trembled, and black shapes rose on the horizon. Across the dunes, the first machines of the unknown regions came into view. Luke reached for his saber. Leia reached for her father. And Anakin, staring into the twin suns, knew the next battle would decide not just the galaxy, but whether the Skywalkers still remained a family when it was over. The machines moved like they had been dreaming for centuries. They were not clone walkers, not droids of the Separatists, not anything built by hands the Republic would recognize. Their frames were black and silver, curved like bone, humming with a sound that made the air itself feel wrong. Symbols burned across their armor in a language older than the Jedi archives. The sand around them turned to glass with every step. Luke ignited his green blade. Leia's followed a second later, blue-white and fierce. Anakin did not move. He felt it before the machines even reached the edge of the dunes. This was not merely technology. It was will, ancient, patient, and buried so deep in the dark places between stars that even Sidious had only brushed against it. The Sith had not created this power. They had copied scraps of it, like thieves holding stolen fire. "Get behind me," Anakin said. Leia frowned. "We're not children." "No," he answered, eyes fixed on the horizon. "That's what frightens me." The first machine attacked without warning. It did not charge. It vanished, then appeared 10 meters closer, bending space in a silent pulse. Luke barely caught the descending strike. His blade hit a staff of black energy, and sparks exploded across the desert. Leia lunged from the side, carving through the machine's shoulder, but the severed limb kept moving, fingers clawing toward her throat. Anakin's hand snapped up. The broken arm froze in midair, crushed inward, then burst apart into molten fragments. 3 more machines came. The sandstorm hit with them. Visibility vanished. Wind screamed. Through the storm, red eyes flashed like demons in the dust. Luke moved on instinct, his saber a spinning shield. Leia fought low and precise, every blow efficient. They were strong. Stronger than Anakin had been at their age. But these things did not fight like living enemies. They adapted faster than droids and struck harder than Magna Guards. Each time Luke changed tempo, they adjusted. Each time Leia targeted a weakness, the metal sealed around it. Then one of them spoke. Its voice came from everywhere at once. Skywalker identified. Bloodline confirmed. Air sequence active. Anakin felt cold move through his chest. They were not hunting the Republic. They were hunting his family. With a roar, he unleashed the Force. The storm split outward in a perfect circle. Sand blasted away from him, exposing the battlefield in a ring of clear air. The nearest machine lifted off the ground, twisted, and slammed into another hard enough to crater stone. Luke stared for half a second, reminded that for all his own power, his father was still something else entirely when he stopped holding back. "Take Leia and go," Anakin shouted. Luke did not move. Not this time. The words hit harder than any blade. Not this time. Not another son watching a father walk alone into darkness. Not another family torn apart because one man believed he had to carry everything himself. For a moment, in the howling silence between impacts, Anakin saw Return of the Jedi overlaid across the Tatooine dunes. Luke refusing to leave him. Luke choosing love over fear. Luke proving there had always been another way. And Anakin realized the next decision was not about defeating the enemy. It was about whether he would finally trust the people he had saved. Together, then, he said, the battle changed instantly. Luke leapt high, drawing the machine's attention upward with wide, flowing strikes that forced them to track him. Leia moved through the gaps he created, not as support, but as command, directing, cutting, baiting them into angles they did not expect. Anakin became the center, not the weapon above all others, but the axis that held the pattern together. For the first time in years, he was not fighting as the Republic's shield. He was fighting as a father beside his children. They destroyed the first wave in under 2 minutes. Black metal burned in the sands. Strange cores pulsed, then died. The desert fell quiet again, but the silence did not last. From above came the deep thunder of engines. All 3 Skywalkers looked up. The sky over Tatooine tore open. Not literally. Space itself folded, rippling like cloth under invisible hands. And from that wound descended a massive structure shaped like a spearhead cathedral. It eclipsed one of the suns for a breathless moment. Ancient lights burned beneath its hull. Around it dropped dozens more of the black machines, then hundreds. Leia lowered her blade slowly. That is not a scouting party. No, Anakin said. It's an invitation. Back on Coruscant, panic spread before the first reports had even settled. Border worlds transmitted fragments, dead moons, vanished patrols, ships cut apart without warning. The unknown regions were no longer unknown. Something organized, ancient, and merciless was crossing into the galaxy with purpose. The Senate demanded emergency authority again. The admirals demanded Skywalker command. The old machinery of fear began turning exactly as it always had. Anakin stood in the war chamber listening to them all, and for the first time he heard the trap as clearly as a chain dropping into place. Give him absolute control, and the Republic would survive by becoming dependent once more. Refuse, and worlds might burn while politicians debated procedure. Then Leia stepped forward before he could answer. No, the chamber went still. Bail Organa blinked. Several officers protested at once. Leia did not raise her voice. She did not need to. No single family will hold this galaxy together again. Not by fear, not by habit, not because it is easier for all of you to hand over your courage. Some glared. Some looked ashamed. Some looked relieved. Luke stepped beside her. We fight this together, he said. Jedi, Senate, fleets, systems. If this war begins with surrendering your future to one name, then the enemy has already won. Every eye turned to Anakin. Years ago, he would have spoken next and decided it all. This time, he stayed silent. It was the hardest act of strength he had ever managed. Padme, standing at the far edge of the chamber, met his gaze. There was pride in her eyes, but also fear, because she knew what it cost him not to seize control when control seemed like mercy. Slowly, Anakin nodded. Form the coalition, he said. Shared command, shared accountability. No throne, no protector above law. A murmur rolled through the room. History shifted again. Yet the enemy did not wait for constitutions and courage to settle. The spearhead ship above Tatooine opened, and from its heart came a signal that pierced Jedi meditation chambers across the galaxy. Younglings screamed in their sleep. Ancient holocrons shattered. On Ossus, 3 masters fell to their knees with blood in their mouths. The message was not in words. It was recognition. Something in the dark knew the Skywalker line by name. Deep beneath the rebuilt temple archives, Anakin found the answer in a sealed vault he had never dared fully open. Not Sith. Older than Sith. A civilization from before the Republic, before the Jedi Order had chosen its first code, had once tried to bind the Force itself into bloodlines. To breed vessels. To shape dynasties that could command fate as if it were machinery. They had failed, or so the surviving records claimed. Luke read the broken tablets twice. Leia read them once and understood the danger immediately. "They don't want to destroy us," she said quietly. "They want to claim us." Anakin closed his eyes. All his life, others had tried to decide what he was. Slave, chosen one, Jedi, Sith, weapon, father, savior, tyrant. Now the oldest darkness in existence had arrived with the same hunger, wearing a new face. For one terrible second, he wondered if this had always been the final shape of his curse. Not to fall to darkness, but to spend every lifetime drawing it toward the people he loved. Luke touched his shoulder. "We end it here," his son said. Leia nodded. "As a family, not as symbols." And there it was, the answer Anakin had been chasing across 2 lives. Not power, not prophecy, not perfect control. Family, not the kind he lost, the kind still standing in front of him. When the Coalition fleet rose from Coruscant 3 days later, it did not fly under a Skywalker crest. It flew under the old Republic starboard beside the colors of 100 worlds. At its head traveled one command ship carrying Anakin, Padme, Luke, and Leia together toward the edge of known space. Ahead of them waited an enemy older than empires. Behind them waited a galaxy finally learning to stand without kneeling. Anakin stood on the bridge and watched the stars lengthen into blue fire. His children were near. Padme's hand found his. For the first time since he had awakened as a boy beneath Tatooine's suns, he did not feel like a man racing to outrun fate. He felt like a man ready to meet it. And in the darkness beyond the map, ancient eyes opened one by one. The real war was just beginning.